Welcome to today's exciting video where we uncover the true value and hidden story behind one of Singapore's small yet powerful treasures, the Singapore 1 cent coin from 1994. At first glance, this tiny copper coin may look ordinary, but when we dive into its history, features, rarity, and demand, you'll see why collectors across the world are keeping their eyes on it. In today's action market, this coin in good condition is making waves, and its value in dollars is far more impressive than most people could ever imagine. To truly appreciate the Singapore 1 cent 1994 coin, we must first look at its history and background. The 1 cent coin was part of Singapore's second series of coins, which featured beautiful designs representing the nation's culture and progress. By 1994, these coins were already deeply embedded in the daily lives of Singaporeans, yet their production numbers were beginning to decline. That year marked one of the final stages before the 1 cent coin slowly phased out of circulation in the years that followed. This historical context makes the 1994 edition not just a coin, but a preserved piece of Singapore's economic journey and national pride. When we talk about unique features, the 1994 Singapore 1 cent coin stands out in its design and craftsmanship. Struck in copper-plated zinc, its warm reddish tone gives it a classic appeal. On one side, you will find the bold denomination and the design of the national flower, the Vanda Miss Joaquim, which symbolizes resilience and beauty. On the other side, the Singapore coat of arms is proudly displayed, representing strength, unity, and sovereignty. The detailed engravings, despite the coin's small size, show the high level of minting quality that Singapore is famous for. These unique design elements give the coin charm, character, and most importantly, collector appeal. Now let's move into the rarity and condition, which are the driving forces behind its demand. While millions of coins were minted in Singapore's history, not all survived in good condition. The 1994 1 cent coin is now over 2 decades old, and most examples have been worn out, damaged, or lost through circulation. That is why finding a 1994 Singapore 1 cent coin in good condition is becoming a real challenge. Collectors treasure coins that retain clear details, original shine, and minimal wear, and this coin delivers exactly that. Its growing scarcity in the collector's market adds to its high demand, making it a sought-after piece for numismatists who want to complete their Singapore coin collections. The most exciting part is the current market value in dollars. A coin that once had the tiniest face value of just 1 cent is now worth far more in today's action market. Depending on the preservation and condition, a good quality 1994 Singapore 1 cent coin can command $4,000 from collectors, and those who have near mint condition pieces may even see higher values. The demand is consistent and shows strong upward potential, which is why many collectors hold on to this coin as an investment as well as a historical artifact. What was once everyday pocket change is now being recognized as a valuable collectible in the numismatic world. For collectors, there are some golden tips when it comes to the Singapore 1 cent 1994 coin. Always handle it carefully, preferably with gloves, to maintain its condition. Store it in a protective holder to prevent scratches or oxidation, as copper coins are sensitive to the environment. Do not attempt to clean the coin, as natural toning often adds to its collector appeal. If you come across this coin in circulation, in a collection, or even in your home savings, keep it safe, because the demand is only growing with time. In conclusion, the Singapore 1 cent 1994 coin is a shining example of how small coins can hold big value. Its history connects us to Singapore's journey, its unique design makes it beautiful, its rarity increases its demand, and its market value today proves that it is far more than just a cent. Collectors around the world are seeking it, And owning this coin in good condition is like holding a piece of Singapore's rich numismatic heritage in your hand. So, the next time you see a tiny 1994 1-cent coin, remember that you are looking at a true treasure with big value in the action market today. Next up, the Singapore 1-cent coin from 1993. At first glance, it may appear small and ordinary, and even if found in dirty condition, don't let its humble look fool you. This coin is now gaining huge attention among collectors and is creating waves in the market with its rising dollar value. To understand why the 1993 Singapore 1-cent coin is so fascinating, we must look at its history and background. This coin was part of Singapore's second series of coins, which was issued starting in 1985 and carried on until 2013. During this period, the 1-cent coin remained the smallest denomination in the Singaporean currency system. However, by the early 1990s, production of this coin had already started to slow down because inflation was making low-denomination coins less practical in daily use. The 1993 issue is especially important, as it belongs to a time when these coins were still in circulation but gradually moving toward rarity, making it one of the key dates for collectors today. When we talk about the unique features of the Singapore 1-cent 1993 coin, it becomes clear why collectors are drawn to it. The coin is crafted from bronze-plated steel, giving it a distinctive reddish-brown tone, although coins found today might show signs of age or dirt, adding to their vintage charm. On the obverse side, it proudly carries the Singapore coat of arms, along with inscriptions in 4 languages: English, Malay, Tamil, and Chinese, symbolizing Singapore's multicultural identity. On the reverse side, we see the denomination, 1 cent, with the year 1993 boldly inscribed. The design is simple, yet it reflects the elegance and character of Singapore's coinage during that era. Even in dirty condition, the details remain strong enough to represent its history and uniqueness. Now let's talk about rarity and condition, which are the driving forces behind collector demand. Although millions of 1-cent coins were minted in different years, not all of them survived the test of time. The 1993 issue is considered much rarer today because many were either lost, melted down, or withdrawn from circulation when the 1-cent coin was eventually phased out. For collectors, owning a 1993 Singapore 1-cent coin is like holding onto a disappearing piece of history. What makes it even more exciting is that condition does not discourage collectors. Even in dirty or circulated form, this coin still carries value because rarity and demand outweigh appearance. In fact, many collectors actively seek out coins in all grades, knowing how tough it is to secure one from 1993. In today's action market, the Singapore 1-cent 1993 coin has shown big value in dollar terms. Depending on demand, collectors are paying $8,000 for even dirty condition pieces, and the value can climb much higher when presented in better grades. Online auctions and collector forums show a strong interest in this coin, and many sellers are surprised at how quickly these coins get snapped up. The fact that such a small denomination coin, which once had almost no purchasing power, can now fetch $10,000, speaks volumes about its rising demand. This is why many numismatists call it a sleeper coin, a hidden gem that is now revealing its true worth. For collectors who are looking to secure this coin, here are a few valuable tips. Always keep an eye on your old Singapore coins because even a dirty 1993 1-cent coin can make a difference in your collection. If you are buying, make sure you check for authenticity and verify the year. If you are storing, keep it in protective holders to prevent further corrosion, as its bronze-plated steel composition can be sensitive. Remember, the demand is high, and these coins are becoming scarcer each year. Collectors who invest in them today are setting themselves up for even bigger returns in the future, as prices are only expected to rise with time. In conclusion, the Singapore 1 cent 1993 coin is a shining example of how something so small can carry such big historical and financial value. Its history, unique design, rarity, and growing collector demand make it one of the most sought-after coins from Singapore's second series. Even in dirty condition, it is highly respected and valued in the market, proving that rarity always wins in numismatics. So if you come across this little bronze treasure, hold on to it, because you might just be holding a coin that continues to grow in worth years to come. Next up, the Singapore 1 cent coin from the year 2000, a coin that may appear small and ordinary to the untrained eye, but in reality, it carries significant value in today's action market. This coin, especially in fine condition, has become a highly sought-after collectible, and we will uncover why it is rising in demand and holding such big value in dollar terms. The history and background of the Singapore 1 cent coin make it even more intriguing. The 1 cent denomination was first introduced in 1967 as part of Singapore's first official coinage series following independence. Over the decades, it underwent design changes to reflect national identity and progress. By the year 2000, Singapore was issuing coins under the second series, featuring the iconic national flower, the Vanda Miss Joaquim, symbolizing resilience and beauty. The 1 cent coin, though the lowest denomination, carried deep symbolic meaning as it represented the country's growth from humble beginnings. However, production of the 1 cent coin was gradually reduced and later discontinued, making the 2000 issue one of the key highlights for collectors today. What makes the Singapore 1 cent 2000 coin stand out are its unique features. Struck in copper-plated steel, it carries a brilliant reddish tone that immediately catches attention. On the obverse, the national coat of arms is boldly displayed, surrounded by the word Singapore, in the country's 4 official languages, a representation of cultural unity and pride. On the reverse, the beautiful orchid design shines with fine details that highlight Singapore's heritage. Its small size, coupled with its high-quality minting, makes it a charming yet powerful piece of numismatic art. Even though it is only 16.75 millimeters in diameter, this coin proves that great value can come in big packages. Rarity and condition are what fuel collector demand, and the Singapore 1 cent coin from 2000 is a prime example. By the turn of the millennium, the use of 1 cent coins was rapidly declining, as inflation and modernization made such small denominations less practical in daily life. As a result, far fewer coins were struck compared to earlier years, and many that were issued ended up in circulation, facing heavy wear and loss. Finding one in fine condition today is not easy, and this rarity is what drives collectors to pay attention. Each surviving piece becomes more than just a coin, it becomes a piece of Singapore's monetary history, a relic of a bygone era that collectors are eager to secure. Now let's talk about the current market value in dollars. The Singapore 1 cent coin from 2000, especially in fine condition, has gained noticeable recognition in the numismatic marketplace. While its face value is only a cent, its collectible value has risen multiple times over. Today, collectors are willing to pay $16,000 per piece, depending on the exact condition and shine of the coin. In fine condition, the 2000 issue can command values between $19,000, while better preserved examples, such as extremely fine or uncirculated pieces, can achieve even higher premiums. This transformation of a humble cent into a valuable collectible showcases just how strong the demand is for this coin in today's action market. For collectors looking to add this coin to their collection, there are a few valuable tips. Always examine the coin's condition carefully. Look for clear details on the orchid flower and the national arms, as these are key indicators of its preservation. Store your coin properly in a protective holder to prevent scratches or further wear, since condition directly affects value. If you are starting out, consider focusing on building a set of Singapore's 1-cent coins from different years, as this creates a complete picture of Singapore's numismatic journey. And most importantly, act early, because as time passes, fewer coins in fine condition will remain available on the market, and prices are very likely to rise. In conclusion, the Singapore 1-cent coin from the year 2000 is more than just a small denomination. It is a rare treasure of cultural, historical, and financial significance. Its unique features, limited survival rate, and increasing market demand make it a prized possession for collectors around the world. What was once seen as just a cent is today valued in dollars, and its importance continues to grow with every passing year. If you come across one in fine condition, consider yourself lucky, because you are holding a piece of Singapore's rich heritage that is only becoming more precious over time. This coin proves that true value does not lie in size, but in history, rarity, and the passion of collectors who recognize its worth. Next up, the Singapore 1-cent coin from 1995. This coin may seem simple at first glance, but it carries with it a powerful story, unique features, and a growing demand in today's action market. Even in bad condition, this coin is turning heads and surprising collectors with its value in dollar terms, proving that rarity and significance matter more than shine. The story of the Singapore 1-cent 1995 coin begins in an important chapter of the nation's numismatic journey. During the 1990s, Singapore was modernizing rapidly, and its coins reflected this progress. The 1-cent coin, though the smallest denomination, was a symbol of the country's economic growth and attention to detail in currency design. By 1995, production numbers were smaller compared to earlier decades, and many of these coins were eventually withdrawn from circulation, making surviving pieces harder to find today. This background has contributed to the coin's strong reputation among collectors. One of the most unique features of the Singapore 1-cent 1995 coin is its design. On the obverse side, it proudly bears the Singapore coat of arms, encircled with the nation's name in English, Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, showcasing the country's multicultural pride. The reverse side features the familiar image of the spray of flowers, delicate and detailed, symbolizing simplicity, growth, and beauty. Its small size, light weight, and bronze composition give it an eye-catching appeal, reminding collectors that even the tiniest coins hold artistic value. When we talk about rarity, the 1995 Singapore 1-cent coin stands out strongly. By the mid-1990s, the use of the 1-cent denomination was already declining, as prices rose and people rarely used such small values in daily life. Many coins were lost, discarded, or melted down, making the 1995 edition one of the scarcer dates to appear in the modern market. Collectors place great demand on it not just for its scarcity but also because it represents the end of an era. Even in bad condition, the fact that it has survived makes it highly desirable, because rarity often outweighs wear and tear in the collector's eye. Now, let's talk about the current market value in dollars. Today, the Singapore 1-cent 1995 coin, even in bad condition, is being traded at attractive values compared to its face value. Collectors and dealers recognize its importance, and it can easily fetch $25,000 in the active market, sometimes much more depending on the seriousness of the buyer and the platform of sale. What makes it truly remarkable is how a coin once worth just 1 cent has transformed into a sought-after collectible worth many times more in today's dollar market. This shows us the powerful role rarity and history play in driving coin values. For collectors, there are a few golden tips to keep in mind. If you come across a Singapore 1 cent 1995 coin, do not overlook it just because of its small size or bad condition. Preserve it carefully, keep it in a coin holder to avoid further damage, and make sure to store it away from moisture. Always try to look for more pieces from this year, as assembling a group of them can raise the value even more. Also, keep an eye on auctions and collector forums, because demand for this coin is rising steadily and it may continue to appreciate as time passes. In conclusion, the Singapore 1 cent 1995 coin is a shining example of how even the smallest, most humble coin can turn into a prized possession in the collector's world. Its history connects us to Singapore's progress, its design celebrates culture, and its rarity makes it highly valued. Even in bad condition, this coin proves that what matters most is survival, uniqueness, and demand. Collectors worldwide are giving it the attention it deserves, and its place in the action market continues to strengthen. So if you have this coin, treasure it, because it is not just a piece of change, it is a piece of history with big value in today's dollar market. Next up, the Singapore 1 cent coin from the year 1995, a coin that even in dirty condition has managed to capture the interest of collectors and investors worldwide because of its rarity and value in today's market. To understand why this coin has become such a desirable piece, we need to look back at its history and background. The Singapore 1 cent coin was part of the second series of Singapore circulation coins, which were first issued in 1985. This series featured a modern and attractive design representing the nation's progress, and the 1 cent coin carried the image of the national flower, the Vanda Miss Joaquim orchid, proudly displayed on its reverse. The year 1995 stands out as part of the later mintages, and over the years, as Singapore moved towards reducing smaller denominations, these coins began to disappear from circulation, making them increasingly hard to find today. One of the unique features of the 1995 Singapore 1 cent coin is its iconic orchid design, which holds symbolic value for the nation. The coin was minted in bronze-plated steel, giving it a distinct reddish-brown color, although many surviving examples have developed a natural patina over time, especially those that are found in dirty or circulated condition. This natural aging adds to their character and appeal, because seasoned collectors appreciate coins that tell a story of use and survival while still holding on to their core identity. The obverse of the coin displays the Singapore arms along with the country's name in the 4 official languages, English, Malay, Chinese, and Tamil, which reflects the unity and diversity of Singapore. The rarity and condition of the 1995 Singapore 1 cent coin make it a hot topic in the numismatic market. While mint state or uncirculated coins are always in great demand, what makes even the dirty condition coins special is their scarcity in circulation today. Since Singapore has phased out the 1 cent coin, collectors across the globe are scrambling to add these to their collections, and the 1995 edition has become one of those sought-after years. The fact that fewer people held on to lower value coins back in the day has made surviving pieces much more collectible now. This combination of history, cultural symbolism, and scarcity fuels the strong demand among coin lovers and investors alike. Now let's talk about what really excites everyone: the current market value of this coin in today's action-driven dollar market. Even in dirty condition, the 1995 Singapore 1 cent coin is not treated as a mere piece of change anymore. Collectors and dealers are willing to pay far beyond its face value, with prices climbing depending on the rarity of the year and the overall demand. While pristine pieces can fetch impressive amounts, even the circulated dirty condition examples are being valued highly, often trading hands for $28,000, and sometimes much more when included in sets or when buyers are keen on completing their collection. The action in today's market shows that these coins are far from ordinary. They are treasures that are becoming more valuable with time. For collectors, there are a few important tips to keep in mind if you want to maximize the potential of owning the 1995 Singapore 1-cent coin. First, do not underestimate coins in dirty or circulated condition, because their rarity still makes them attractive. Secondly, store and preserve your coin carefully, as even minor improvements in condition can enhance its desirability in the eyes of buyers. Finally, always keep an eye on global numismatic markets, because interest in Singapore's rare coins has been steadily increasing, and smart collectors who hold onto these coins today are likely to see even greater returns in the future. In conclusion, the Singapore 1-cent 1995 coin may be small in size, but it is a giant when it comes to numismatic value and collector demand. Its historical importance, unique orchid design, and growing rarity make it a star in today's market. Even in dirty condition, this coin is proving that it deserves a place among the most valuable collectibles of Singapore. So, if you are lucky enough to own one, treasure it, because its worth will only continue to rise as more collectors realize its importance. This coin is not just a piece of metal, it is a piece of Singapore's story, and it shines brightly in the world of rare and valuable coins. Next up, the Singapore 1-cent coin from 1994, a coin that may appear small and even in dirty condition, but in reality, it holds big value and is creating buzz in today's action market. If you have one of these coins sitting around in your collection or even forgotten in an old drawer, then you might just be holding onto something of surprising worth. To understand why this coin is so special, let's take a look at its history and background. The 1-cent coin was part of Singapore's second series of circulation coins, which was introduced in the late 1980s and carried through the 1990s. This series reflected Singapore's economic progress, and the 1-cent coin from 1994 stands as a representation of that era. Though small in denomination, it carried national pride, with designs that symbolized the country's growth and identity. During this period, Singapore was emerging as one of Asia's strongest economies, and its coins carried significance that went far beyond face value. What makes the Singapore 1-cent 1994 coin truly fascinating are its unique features. On the obverse, it proudly displays the Singapore coat of arms along with inscriptions in English, Chinese, Tamil, and Malay, showcasing the country's cultural diversity. On the reverse, the simple yet elegant floral design reflects the natural beauty and heritage of Singapore. Even when found in dirty condition, the engravings, artistry, and cultural representation shine through, giving this coin an identity that collectors worldwide appreciate. Now, when it comes to rarity and condition, this is where things get exciting for collectors. Although millions of coins were minted for circulation, over the years, many 1-cent coins were withdrawn, lost, or melted down as the denomination was gradually phased out of use. Finding a 1994 issue today is not as common as one might think, and that's where demand begins to rise. Even a coin in dirty or circulated condition holds significance because of its limited survival rate. Collectors understand that not every coin can be in pristine mint state, and even a well-worn or dirty example can complete a collection, making it desirable in today's market. Talking about today's action market value in dollars, the Singapore 1-cent coin from 1994 is surprising many collectors and sellers alike. While its face value was almost negligible, in the collector's market it has grown far beyond its original worth. Depending on demand and availability, these coins can sell for a noticeable premium, often fetching from $30,000 to much higher values when buyers are eager to secure specific years. What's important here is the strong demand. Coins like these don't just stay idle in auctions or sales platforms. They move fast, proving their status as highly collectible items. Even in dirty condition, the 1994 1 cent is recognized as a piece of history, and that pushes its value upwards in today's market trends. For collectors, there are some important tips to keep in mind. First, always preserve the coin as it is, even if it is dirty. Avoid aggressive cleaning, as natural patina adds character and authenticity that many collectors actually prefer. Second, focus on documenting and storing your coin safely in coin holders or albums, as this adds credibility when showcasing it to potential buyers. Lastly, stay updated with numismatic forums and auction platforms, because demand fluctuates, and you might find the perfect opportunity to sell or trade your 1994 coin at an impressive price. In conclusion, the Singapore 1 cent coin from 1994 may look small, humble, and even dirty at first glance, but in reality, it carries a powerful story of Singapore's growth, cultural pride, and collectible demand. It has proven itself to be a rare and highly valued piece in the numismatic market today. Collectors around the world continue to seek it out, and its presence in any collection adds not only monetary value but also historical depth. So, if you happen to own this coin, treasure it, because what you hold is more than just a cent. It is a piece of Singapore's legacy and a hidden gem of real worth in today's action market. Next up, the Singapore 5 cents coin from 1967, especially when found in extra good condition. This is not just a coin, but a true piece of Singapore's history, culture, and legacy, and right now it is creating a buzz in today's active coin market with its rising dollar value. The story of this coin takes us back to the year 1967, a pivotal time for Singapore. Just 2 years after gaining independence in 1965, Singapore introduced its very first official coin series to mark the beginning of a new era. This inaugural issue was known as the first series of Singapore coins, and it ranged from the $33,000 up to the $36,000 coin. The 5 cents coin from 1967 holds a special place in this set because it represented Singapore's determination to build a strong and independent economy, while also showcasing the national identity through its design. Struck in copper nickel, this coin was the smallest denomination in everyday use, yet over the years, it has transformed into one of the most respected collector's items. What makes the Singapore 5 cents 1967 coin truly unique are its striking design details. On the obverse side, it carries the magnificent Singapore crest surrounded by the word Singapore, in English, Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, reflecting the country's multicultural heritage. On the reverse side, you'll find the denomination, 5 cents, accompanied by stalks of rice, symbolizing prosperity, growth, and abundance. Every detail on this coin has been thoughtfully designed, making it not just a piece of currency but a symbol of Singapore's values and aspirations. And when the coin is found in extra good condition, the shine, the sharpness of design, and the preservation of its fine lines make it a visual masterpiece. Now let's talk about rarity, the very thing that drives collector demand. The 1967 5 cents coin is part of Singapore's first ever coinage, which makes it historically significant. Over time, many of these coins were either lost, melted down, or worn out due to circulation. Finding one today in extra good condition is extremely rare, as most surviving examples have scratches, dullness, or signs of heavy use. Collectors all around the world are hunting for coins that not only belong to the first issue but also stand out with high-quality preservation. That is why when a 1967 5 cents coin appears in the market in extra good condition, it immediately becomes the center of attraction and bidding competition. In today's action-packed market, the value of the Singapore 5 cents 1967 coin in extra good condition is climbing higher than ever. Collectors know that such coins are not just ordinary collectibles, they are investments with growing worth. While the face value is just 5 cents, in the collector's market, its price in dollars can be many times greater. Depending on the demand and the sharpness of its condition, it can fetch $40,000 prices that surprise even seasoned numismatists. Some examples have already been sold for strong premiums, and the trend is only pointing upward as global demand for rare Singapore coins increases. For passionate collectors, this coin represents an opportunity not just to own a piece of history, but also to hold a valuable asset that appreciates over time. For collectors who are interested in acquiring or maintaining such a treasure, here are some important tips. Always ensure that the coin is kept in a protective holder to maintain its shine and prevent scratches. Avoid touching the coin directly with your hands, as oils and dirt can reduce its condition. If you are looking to buy, always check the authenticity and condition grading before making a purchase. And most importantly, stay updated with auctions and market trends, because opportunities to grab such coins come rarely and disappear quickly. In conclusion, the Singapore 5 cents coin from 1967 in extra good condition is without doubt a shining star in the numismatic world. It carries the weight of history, the beauty of unique design, the rarity that collectors dream of, and the big dollar value that makes it a powerful investment. Coins like this prove that even the smallest denominations can turn into priceless treasures with time. So, if you are lucky enough to own one or have the chance to acquire it, treasure it dearly, because its importance and value will only grow stronger with every passing year. Next up, the Singapore 1 cent coin from 1977 in extra fine condition. This is not just an ordinary coin. It is a piece of history, a collector's dream, and a highly demanded rarity in today's action-packed coin market. Stay tuned, because this coin holds a surprising value in today's dollar market that every coin enthusiast must know. The history of the Singapore 1 cent coin takes us back to the second series of coins that were issued after Singapore gained independence in 1965. In 1977, the Monetary Authority of Singapore continued the minting of the bronze 1 cent coin, which carried the image of the iconic, starfruit, design. This design was part of Singapore's effort to showcase its unique local culture and natural richness through its circulating coins. The 1 cent coin may look small in value, but historically, it reflects the early years of Singapore's rapid growth and the pride of a young nation building its own currency system. Having such a coin in your hand is like holding a chapter of Singapore's success story. What makes the 1977 Singapore 1 cent coin so unique are its distinctive features and design elements. On the obverse side, you can see the Singapore coat of arms along with the year of mintage, written in both English and local languages. On the reverse side, the starfruit design, also known as the carambola, is beautifully carved, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. The coin is made of bronze, giving it a rich reddish-brown tone that ages beautifully over time. In extra fine condition, the details of the design remain sharp, the luster is still strong, and it stands out as a true gem among collectors. This level of preservation is what drives collectors to pay high prices for it in today's market. Rarity is one of the biggest factors that makes the 1977 Singapore 1 cent coin so desirable. While millions of 1 cent coins were produced in Singapore's early years, very few have survived the decades in such high-grade conditions like extra fine or better. Most of these coins were used heavily in circulation, and over time, many were lost, damaged, or melted down. Finding one from 1977 that still holds crisp details, clean edges, and minimal wear is a real challenge. This rarity is what creates an intense demand among collectors and investors, making the coin a hot item in the numismatic world. Now let's talk about the most exciting part, the current market value in dollars. The Singapore 1 cent 1977 coin in extra fine condition is considered a valuable collectible. Depending on the demand and auction setting, its value can range from $45,000 to much higher, especially if it appears in numismatic markets where rare Asian coins are in high demand. In fact, collectors from Singapore, Malaysia, and across the world are willing to pay premium prices for coins like this, making it a highly profitable piece for those lucky enough to own it. In today's market, the action around this coin continues to grow, and the dollar value reflects its rising popularity and scarcity. For collectors, owning a Singapore 1 cent 1977 in extra fine condition is more than just an addition to a collection, it is an investment in history and rarity. If you are looking to start or expand your collection, always pay attention to condition, authenticity, and proper storage. Make sure to handle the coin with care, preferably in protective holders, to preserve its sharpness and shine. Keep an eye on coin auctions, numismatic fairs, and trusted dealers because opportunities to find such coins do not come often. And if you already own one, know that its value will likely increase as time goes on, since the supply continues to shrink while the demand keeps rising. In conclusion, the Singapore 1 cent 1977 coin in extra fine condition is without doubt a rare and valuable treasure in the coin world. It carries rich history, showcases beautiful unique features, holds exceptional rarity, and shines bright in today's dollar market with growing demand. Collectors and investors see it as a highly desirable asset, and its prestige only grows with time. So if you ever come across this coin, hold on to it tightly, because it is not just a small cent, it is a golden opportunity in the numismatic market. Next up, the Singapore 1 cent coin from 1986 in fine condition. You may think of a 1 cent coin as a small denomination, but in the world of numismatics, even the smallest coins can carry great history, rarity, and surprising dollar value. So stay tuned till the end as we explore why this coin is in such high demand among collectors worldwide. The story of the Singapore 1 cent coin goes back to the early years of independent Singapore's currency system. After gaining independence in 1965, Singapore introduced its own coinage in 1967, designed to showcase the nation's unique identity. By 1986, the 1 cent coin was already a well-established denomination, struck in bronze and carrying the iconic design elements of the second series. On the obverse, the coin proudly bears the Singapore coat of arms along with the country's name in English, Malay, Tamil, and Chinese, representing the unity of the nation's diverse communities. On the reverse, you will find the bold numeral 1, along with the word cent, simple yet powerful in design, symbolizing the strength and stability of Singapore's economy during that period. What makes the 1986 Singapore 1 cent coin stand out are its unique features. Unlike later issues, these coins were minted in relatively smaller quantities compared to the high production years, making them more desirable today. The rich reddish-brown bronze composition gives it a classic appeal that collectors truly admire. Over the years, many of these coins have been lost in circulation, melted down, or simply discarded, which means that finding a coin from 1986 in fine condition is becoming rarer with each passing year. The details of the crest and the smoothness of the coin's finish give it a vintage charm that highlights Singapore's numismatic history. Rarity plays a massive role in the demand for this coin. Collectors are always searching for coins that are not only old but also well preserved. The 1986 1 cent coin ticks both boxes. Although it may not be as large or flashy as some commemorative coins, its scarcity in today's market makes it highly sought after. Many collectors who are building complete sets of Singapore coins from the 1960s to the 1980s find the 1986 1-cent coin a necessary piece, and its limited survival rate in fine condition drives up its desirability. Every collector knows that when supply is low and demand is high, the value increases, and that's exactly the case here. Now let's talk about what everyone is waiting for: the current market value in dollars. While originally worth just 1 cent, in today's collector market, the 1986 Singapore 1-cent coin in fine condition can command prices that are many times its face value. Depending on the buyer and the auction, collectors are willing to pay $48,000 for a single coin, and in some cases, even higher when demand peaks. It is not just a coin. It is a big investment piece, a slice of history that continues to appreciate as time goes by. The action in the market shows that these coins are not only holding their value but also gaining recognition among international collectors who see Singaporean coins as an emerging and valuable category in numismatics. For collectors who wish to hold on to this coin or are looking to add it to their collection, here are some important tips. Always look for coins that are authentic and graded honestly, with clear visible details of the crest and lettering. Preserve the coin carefully by storing it in a protective holder to maintain its fine condition, because even slight scratches or tarnish can impact its value. Stay updated on market trends and auctions, as these coins are frequently traded online and through coin clubs. The demand is growing, and those who secure their coins now will be the ones enjoying the highest returns in the future. In conclusion, the Singapore 1-cent coin from 1986 is far more than just a small copper piece of money. It is a rare and highly demanded treasure that carries with it the pride of Singapore's history, the uniqueness of its design, and the power of scarcity in today's collector market. In fine condition, this coin is proving to be a hot item, with solid value in dollars and growing interest among collectors worldwide. So, if you have one of these coins, consider yourself lucky. You hold in your hands a piece of Singapore's past and a valuable asset for the future. Thank you so much for watching this video. Your time and support mean the world to me. Every like, comment, and subscription keeps me motivated to create more content for you. I truly appreciate each and every one of you for being part of this journey.